What do we have here? Marvel's fourth attempt at trying to revamp Spider Man. Second, if you're counting the MCU, that is. Yeah, you know what I mean. Hollywood has been trying to rope us into falling in love with this iteration of the character for years, and we're all the better for it. Hi, my name's Jesse, and you're watching the ENABLE'S review. At the helm of this film, we've got director Daniel Cretton. He's done films such as Short Term 12, a film with a very young Brie Larson as a supervisor, to Some Troubled Kids, also starring Rami Malek apparently. 2021's Shang-Chi was a welcome addition to the Marvel landscape. High action, martial arts film Aquafina, Samuel Liu. Nice, good fun. Niche is a word I would use to describe this year's Wonder Man. Very niche series, but still, I liked it. On paper, this film should work, no? What are you talking about?
He's got some power.
I had to sit down with this thing for a couple of days and literally ask myself, why do people like it? Why do I like it? What's going on with every shot? Spend every waking minute of every day trying to ask myself, what is different with this thing? Why does it look so different? And honestly, this thing is dope. I mean, look at the shots, look at the color grading, look at the composition. I know it's been done in varying degrees by different directors over time. You can tell that Daniel Cretton and his team are taking great measures of how they're adapting this thing. Now, I'm not saying it's the best or most amazing thing that I've ever seen, but it's got potential. Honestly, this character is over 60 years old. Your granddad was reading this comic book. But we should take a step back and try to analyze how we got here, the do's and do nots, and what we should do to change it. I hope I don't step on any toes, and as long as we're all in agreement, let's begin. I was supposed to go on this long ass tangent about how Iron Man screwed over Tom Holland's MCU Spider-Man career by being in all of the three movies, because his influence was strongly felt in those three movies, and how we should have relied on Uncle Ben's teachings posthumous for those three movies. Then I remembered that Iron Man is still Doom in Doomsday, so I guess he's got a long way to go and we're just in it for the ride. So casting Marisa Tomei in these films was just shocking to me. Like, why do that? Why put Marisa Tomei in such a character if you're just going to kill her and do nothing with her in the previous movies? I mean, there's something that Watts was smoking on this one, because she just spent 3 movies playing party cake with Happy Hogan, barely even. The previous iterations played by Rosemary and Sally Field were done to amazing degrees. The characters had such reverence, the writers knew what to do with them, and whenever they were on screen you could tell this was Aunt May and you knew what Aunt May was all about. And in the third film they gave Marisa Tomei's Aunt May the "with great power comes great responsibility" speech. It's just cheap, and honestly we'll feel a great vacuum now that she's dead in the films. A very, very great vacuum. Michelle Jones Watson is not Mary Jane Watson. Honestly, I prefer Mary Jane Watson. I think Zendaya should have just started playing Mary Jane Watson in the beginning. I know they were going for that Euphoria type, Rue Bennett kind of style, but the original is the best. And I think there's something different she's trying this time. I don't know if it's her hair, I don't know if it's her personality. There's a different swagger she's bringing to the character, and I like it. I like it a lot. Guys, then Ned Leeds slandered us to stop. This guy actually carries this movie. Watching his videos while I was editing, he kind of grew on me. I was also coming on here trying to attack him, but honestly, without him, these movies would be bland, flat, nothing would be going on. He actually carries these movies. Yes, I know he's an amalgamation of 2 different characters. Sometimes he can be a bit annoying, but trust me, we need him. I honestly do not know why I'm not more excited to see John Barthnell's Punisher in these films. Maybe it's because of his overexposure in the TV shows. But saying that, I'd like to also see how they interact with such a purple character and how the writers use him. In the trailer, we can see that Spider-Man's powers are messing around, so he has to visit his professor, Bruce Banner. Traditionally, he visits Mr. Fantastic for cases like this where maybe his body's acting weird with the symbiote and all that. But it would be nice to see the Hulk. Maybe I hope we can get the Hulk at least. Doesn't have to be a fight, because I don't think they're going to give us a fight after Brand New Day. Like the Red Hulk spoiled it for all the future Hulks interactions, unless Universal gives us a Hulk movie. That's when I think we're going to get an actual Hulk fight again. Now I know this film carries a lot. It's got Michael Mando's Scorpion. It's got Tramel Tillman, and we're still trying to figure out the curious case of Sadie Sink. I don't think she's Jean Grey personally. I don't think that's how Marvel is going to introduce Jean Grey into the MCU. She's definitely another character. I know that she's in the Doomsday movie, and I know these writers were having a field day getting to try to confuse us with this. They were really having fun with all of this information, but I think she's just going to be another character. I know there's no other bigger film, and I know you're getting bombarded with all these ideas, but the thing that worked with the older movies is that they kept it simple. Even Spider-Man 3 had a lot of concepts, but they tried to keep it as simple as possible. When you just get a good cast of actors, talented people, and just try to utilize them, that's what it's all about. You don't really have to have all these concepts in one movie. Trying to introduce the X-Men, you're trying to introduce the Hulk, you're trying to introduce the Punisher, trying to introduce Ned Leeds again, with glasses. I mean, an audience can only take so much. I know that the last movie made $1 billion, and that's why they're trying to panic. They're trying to fit in all these aspects into one film. But honestly, is that how it's done? Is that how you make $1 billion? Are you just trying to order farm with all this information, and you hope that your customers will come and they like what you're selling? But I think they promised this film would take it back to basics, and I think that's what they should have tried to focus on. And don't forget, Keith David is in this film as somebody. I've been hearing reports of him being the Jackal, or him being in a secretive role, because he's the voice in the trailer. At first I was actually confusing him with Tombstone. It might still be Tombstone, but it does sound like Keith David, I have to confess. But yeah, that's my thoughts on what this movie is, and what I think they've done, and where I think they're headed, and how I think they're handling it wrong. Because honestly, if you're trying to make a Spider-Man movie that is street level, like you're trying to sell it on us like this is street level, then just make it street level, and we'll appreciate it for what it is, and we like it, because we honestly just want to see a real Spider-Man film. It doesn't have to be a vehicle for an MCU new character, an MCU new concept, and an MCU new adventure. It doesn't have to be, because I know they're using it, Spider-Man, because that's the movie that everyone will go and see. And it's not fair to the character, it's not fair to the fans. They should just take it slow with a character like this, because now he's getting man spider powers. Now he's going to be fighting the Hand. You guys expecting us to think it's street level? I mean, this is a huge undertaking for Destin Daniel Cretton. I know he's a seasoned director by now, but this is huge. I hope it all works out. I know they're not idiots down there at Marvel HQ. I know that they're doing everything possible to make this thing as cohesive as possible. So honestly, I'm just excited to see what they're going to come up with. Like and subscribe. Drop me a comment if you can. Subscribe if you haven't. Tell a friend, and click on the notification bell. Thanks. This has been the Enablers Review.